So I'm at home at the moment. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is another live stream because I did the live stream sort of on um on Instagram. Right now I'm eating some cornflakes, so it's not a review of cornflakes or any sort of review. I just wanted to eat some cornflakes. So I'm going live on here, which I haven't had an incentive to do a video, an actual video of like stuff because I really haven't felt like making more videos, and some of you have been asking me, oh, where are the videos? You disappeared. Um, Actually, I have not disappeared. I have not disappeared. I have plans on making videos for my car channel. This car channel where I've always talked about my favorite things. Like I've always talked about Hondas, Acuras, Lexus, Toyotas. And to be honest, I haven't talked about like say BMWs or because I'm the type of person. I'm gonna say right now, I'm the because it's ask you can ask me anything, but first I'm gonna get to the topic later on, the real topic that I'm going to get to. So, in reality, I am I am only going for the cars that are the most sold. So I mean, not saying I'm gonna do a video on BMWs. I'm gonna do videos on Land Rovers. I'm gonna do videos on Mercedes Benz and the G wagon and all these other like 70,000 like $700,000 cars or $1 million cars or I'm gonna do a video on a 30,000 I mean on a $300,000 car. Seriously, that's not going to happen. So that's not me. I'm doing it on the cars that we love because most of us love having Acuras, Toyotas, Lexus, and and Hondas. No one's going to say, I'm going to have a BMW. I'm gonna have the $700,000 BMW. Like I'm not really sure how much they cost because they're pretty pricey. There's some cars that are very pricey for what they are. So I'm not ever going to say, I want that $300,000 car. No, I like to talk about cars that the majority of Americans can afford. Because like I always like to mention to you guys is that I've always been a fan of cars that are Japanese. Just so you guys know. So let's go back to what I was talking about earlier about the issues that I'm facing. So let me quickly tell you I have this thing, the Eero, which gets dirty all the time. This thing is Eero, which is powered by Frontier, first of all, and this thing it's hot right now. It's burning. Jeez, it's really hot. Does this thing get hot? Oh boy, the side is really hot. Jeez, I never paid attention that this thing is really hot. It's burning. It's burning hot. Okay, so that's the thing I'm showing you. That's the Eero. That's the supposed Wi-Fi extender or something because as soon as you disconnect them, there's no internet inside the house. The actual internet connect box, I don't even get to see it ever because it's in the garage. That's where the guy said, you're gonna get the best internet from Frontier, which for most of you that are young, you don't know that Frontier used to be Verizon, but Verizon sold its assets, so they only have FiOS. But that's the reason they're not extending it anymore. They're not extending FiOS because what? I mean, I think FiOS It's like cable or internet or something. I don't know what FiOS is, because like I said, uh, Verizon sold most of its assets, most of the internet assets to Frontier, and now Frontier, I think, is now called something else now. Okay, so hello, Edgar. So let me explain to you. Uh, okay, so Payam. Okay, sorry, bro. I can't pronounce your username, but let me explain to you. What's the issues I have with my internet? First of all, my internet says, "Oh, you get a ping of 8 millisecond ping, which is pretty good." Like I used to get a when I used to live in Montebello, California, at my old residence. It used to be I used to have AT&T, which got me a ping of like maybe 15. I think it was like 15 to 30 millisecond ping, and I got I believe I got 100 megabits per second down, and then I had 50 megabits per second up, and I could live stream 4K with no issues. 4K was boom, boom, boom. 4K was really good. The same thing with my with the cell phone internet, which is AT&T, which I could live. I mean, I could go. I mean, I could watch 4K like nothing. But when it came to the upload on on the AT&T internet, just I mean not the home internet, but just the cell phone internet, and it was horrible. So that's the reason I had. I mean, that's why I loved the internet, the AT&T internet. Which, like I said, I could only get I can only get 100 megabits per second down and 50 megabits per second up. So now I live in the Inland Empire, which, as you guys probably don't know, in the summer, I didn't really know this about this location here though. In the summer, it's really hot. It can get upwards to 100. I mean, for those of you that live in areas that are not like Arizona or somewhere else where it's hot like Texas, but uh, right now it's like 90 degrees outside. To be honest, it's really really warm. I'm just eating some cornflakes at the moment. So now, when I moved here, I said, "Wow, I'm going to try to transfer my my AT&T internet to my new residence." And the answer is I couldn't. I could not. I could not connect AT&T here. AT&T is unavailable. So the other thing that I tried when I first moved here, I tried Verizon home internet, which was pretty good. Like uh so let me just continue before I ask I answer the question. Um with the food, first off, I'm going to answer the question. With the food videos, I'm not so sure if I'm going back or not because like I said, I'm indecisive at the moment. I mostly took up all these videos is because I used to get threatened on here on YouTube. So I decided to just take every single video down on the food videos and just stick to another thing. Plus, at the same time, I wanted to do like different videos, like vloggings, which I'm gonna try to do, which I haven't. Uh, I stopped vlogging. I mean, I want to vlog, but the issue is that, like I said, um, I want to do vloggings, like more of live streaming vlogs, but like I said, yes, I probably will do some vloggings or something here and there, which I haven't done because it's like I I, I, I really haven't felt like doing it. So like I was saying about the internet is that now that I live here in the Inland Empire, which is definitely hot, it is like a hundred. It's like 90 degrees, and even at nighttime, it's really warm. To be honest. So, like I said, I got Frontier. So at first I got the Verizon home internet, which the guy said, "Oh, don't worry, 50 megabits per second to us is, or yeah, 50 megabits per, yeah, I think he said 50 megabits per second to us is like 300 megabits per second. You can do anything you want with that connection." Um, First off, the guy doesn't know that I like to upload videos to YouTube frequently, so that wasn't I mean, that didn't seem like an issue at first because I didn't really have I don't really have knowledge about this internet. They just said, "Oh, don't worry, you can get you can get you could get it. It's gonna be really good for your house." But when I did the speed test, I could only get 50 megabits per second down and maximum of 5 megabits per second up. So, to be honest with you, I feel like Verizon at the moment in this location, in this city in the Inland Empire, I feel like Verizon is still ahead of AT&T and ahead of T-Mobile and ahead of all these other companies. But when it came to the internet, I was being capped. He said, the guy said, "Oh, the guy said, don't worry, um, you can live stream all you want. You could do whatever you want with that connection. It's pretty good." But what someone told me on the internet was like, "No, you're only gonna get 50 megabits per second down, and the maximum is 5 megabits per second up," which is not. I mean, which seems pretty good if you're in an area where it's like, oh, all the internets are garbage. Uh, so like I said, uh, I disconnected that, and I was gonna go with T-Mobile, but T-Mobile is still not in my area, and apparently T-Mobile is going to be in my area, but the issue that I have now, even though I already have Frontier, like I told you, this is the router. I mean, this is not the router. This is like the Wi-Fi extender, the Eero Wi-Fi extender for Frontier. Because if I don't have the Wi-Fi extender, then the internet doesn't work. So, like I said, I didn't have any other option. I had Spectrum, which said, "Oh, you get a gigabit per second down. We guarantee a gigabit per second down." Yeah, okay. But they never mentioned the upload speeds. They never said, "Oh, if you're gonna live stream, we sit back and we're not going to tell you that those speeds." So I feel like the upload speeds were really horrible on Spectrum, because I've heard people say, "Oh, you can get a gigabit per second down," but then when it goes back to the upload speed, it's like you cannot get more than maybe 10 megabits per second, 5 megabits per second, 20 megabits per second if you're lucky, 30. It's like, it's not consistent, because apparently, supposedly with Verizon, I mean, not Verizon, my bad. With AT&T, the fiber, AT&T fiber, supposedly you could get 1 gigabit per second down and up to 1 gigabit per second up. And with this Frontier, I still have issues with Frontier, even though I feel like, yeah, the uploading is pretty quick compared to on my own cell phone, because right here with my cell phone, it takes to upload like a video maybe 3 hours if you're lucky, 3, 4, 5 hours, and like I said, it takes like 3, 4, 5 hours. So with this internet, with Frontier, you get about, let's say, on a good, I mean, depending on the day, you get maybe 400 megabits per second down, 500 megabits per second down. So like I said, maybe 500 megabits per second down, but it's all different. This is the problem I have with Frontier at the moment is that you get one location. I mean, you're in the house, you're in the kitchen, you get one speed. You go to the living room, you get a different speed. You go to one room, you get a different speed. You go to the restroom, you get different speeds. So it's not consistent. That is the inconsistency I get. And what I told most of you guys, or most of you, uh, I've said that even though I get 500 megabits per second down, or even up to 700 megabits per second down, because I think that's the max you get on, like 700 megabits per second is like the max that I've ever gotten. I've never gotten up to, I don't know what this is. This like a Wi-Fi? Is this like just a Wi-Fi extender? This is the Eero, and I think this is considered a Wi-Fi extender. This is all it is. But with the mesh, is that so for those of you that haven't watched the video, I mean this live stream from the beginning, this thing is pretty hot. It's very hot. It is actually like maybe 70 degrees hot in heat, or 80, even more probably. This thing is hot because supposedly you get fiber, because I think they at first they wanted to sell me a connection that was like 300 megabits per second, but some people were saying, no, don't get it. Don't get the 300 megabits per second, because maximum speeds are 300 megabits per second. But in reality, you're going to get maybe 100 megabits per second, 200 megabits per second, or even less. So that is the issue. And like I said, I don't understand how this connection here says, oh, you could get 500 megabits per second down, and then at the same time, it says that you get a ping of 8 millisecond ping. Like, that's pretty good. I think the worst I've ever gotten was like 15 millisecond ping. But with that, it seems like it's good. Like don't tell me 500 megabits per second is not good for for watching 4K content. Come on. Please tell me 500 megabits per second is not good for live streaming content. Come on. So I get 500 megabits per second down, and when I feel like watching 4K content, boy, it's pretty bad. You cannot actually live stream consistently 4K. It buffers. So I don't understand. I've tried it on my computer. I tried it on my TV. No, I'm not live streaming. I was talking about streaming like 4K content on YouTube, or watching a movie that's 4K. It's not good. It doesn't work as it used to work in my old area with AT&T. Like, even with AT&T, with only like 100 megabits per second down, that was enough to live stream. Not to live stream, to watch 4K content. So 100 megabits per second consistent to inconsistent 500. Yes. Not always, but the majority of the time it buffers. There's times where, like, depending on the day, or depending on the hour, or maybe depending on the video you're watching or something on YouTube, it goes great. It streams. You could watch it with no issues. But then most of the time, it buffers at 4K. So, like, say you're watching YouTube, and when you put the YouTube, it's okay. So thank you for watching, Jose C. Thank you. Good night, or whatever you're going to do. Have a good time. So what I was saying is that with the 4K, like, depending on, I don't know if it's depending on if I don't know if Frontier is deliberately what do you say? How do you say this? Deliberately slowing down the connection or something, because I remember being in my old city, in my hometown, 100 megabits per second. You could you could watch 4K like nothing. Boom, 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 boom. You could just say, I want to watch this in 4K. So At the moment, I'm just eating cereal because I didn't feel like eating anything else. I could eat something else, but I didn't feel like it. So, because anyways, it's pretty hot. So I could have just gone to a restaurant and just gotten some fast food or something. I could have gone to Jack. I could have just probably gone to Jack or something, but I didn't. So let me just continue this a little bit longer. So, like I said, 4K doesn't really work with Frontier. I don't know if they're deliberately slowing down the connection, but even Fast.com, which supposedly says it's a partner or it's part of Netflix, it shows, wow, you get 100, 200, 300 megabits per second. But when it comes to watching content, it doesn't load the same way you expect it to. It doesn't. I just don't understand what's wrong with what's wrong with the connection. Like 8 millisecond ping, up to 15 millisecond ping, up to 500 megabits, up to 700 megabits per second. Like, come on, that should be enough to stream. I mean, to watch 4K content. This is what I've seen when I've gone to YouTube. Let's say I put a 4K video. I just say, oh, let's look for someone's video, and their videos are 4K. You press it, and I think it says, oh, give me. It automatically automatically has this option, or it's already on this thing that says, oh, 4K. I mean, the highest video quality possible, and the highest video quality possible sometimes is 1080p or 1440p, which is strange because, like I said, I have the ability to go 4K. So before, I had called into Spectrum and I asked them, give me the best internet you have, and I was willing to pay whatever they wanted for the internet, because I'm the type of guy that when I feel like live streaming, when I feel like watching 4K content, or when I feel like doing something that's necessary, I need the internet. So, like I said, I was about to get Spectrum, but I have a couple of neighbors that keep saying, oh, no, please stay away from Spectrum. You're going to get a gigabit down and maybe 10 megabits per second up, 3 megabits per second up, who knows? But it's super lopsided. Just like Spectrum is not, I mean, just like I said, Frontier is not good either. Don't think that Frontier is pretty good. Don't think that it's amazing and it's some magical internet. It's not. The other thing I do have to say is that thank you for letting me know that the live stream quality is pretty good. The only reason the live stream quality is pretty good at the moment is because I get like up to like 100 in the kitchen, though. I get up to 200 megabits per second on the upload. Up to. It doesn't mean that it's consistently 200 megabits per second upload. It is actually maybe 90 megabits per second upload, sometimes 130, 150, and so forth. So, like I said, Spectrum is not good either in my area. I was about to go with Cox, but I've also had people tell me Cox is not good either. Cox is horrible. It's very bad. Then there's a regional. I think it's regional. It's not. When I say regional, I mean by it's only in the city. It's not like I can get the same internet in another area. Like say I moved to San Bernardino, even though I'm not ever going to move there. But let's say I go to San Bernardino and I move there, and I want to get this regional internet, I can't. So there's this regional internet that supposedly is Moofy. I've tried. I've called them, and I've gone online, I think, to ask for Xfinity Internet, I was gonna say Xfinity Mobile. No, Xfinity, and it's not in my area. So the only internet that's in my area is Spectrum, Cox. I think it's called Ontario uh, Broadband or something. Ontario Utility, which is just what's in the area. So it's Cox, Spectrum, and Frontier, because there's this other one called HughesNet that they said that it's in my area, but, and here's the big but, the big issue I'm having is that they said, oh, you're gonna pay $80, but guess what? You're limited to maybe 100 gigabytes per month or something for $80, or I think it's like 300. I think it was like $300 or something for the internet. So it's like, um, yeah. So sorry, I kind of cut it off because I was looking at something. So, like I was saying, uh, Cox. I mean, no, HughesNet. HughesNet is the one that's the most horrid internet out of every carrier. I mean, out of every internet, home internet, because, like I said, they have options where they say, "Oh, we give you, you're gonna pay $80 for 5 gigabytes, or you're gonna spend $100 for 30 gigabytes, or so on and so on." So it's a tiered plan, which is what which is what T-Mobile is doing at the moment with their home internet, which they say you're going to be on a tiered plan, but we're gonna charge you like $200 to use that internet, depending on if your area is qualified for the unlimited or not. So let's say you're not qualified for the unlimited internet, so your area is going to get hit with a 50 gigabyte threshold, but we're going to charge you, let's say, $200. So that is an issue. So that's the reason I'm stuck with Frontier, even though Frontier is not good either. I don't care if they connected Cat 6. I think they said it was Cat 6 wiring, and then they said it was like they had to. It took forever to get internet in my area because I called them. I said, look, I'm looking for the fastest way to get internet at the moment. I need the internet as quickly as you can. And these guys were like, oh, don't worry, we'll put it in a flash. But when they came, they said, we cannot connect internet in your area. I mean, in your house yet, in your home. You cannot connect fiber yet because the previous people here cut the cord. So they had to send out contractors, and it took like about 2 to 3 weeks, which they said, don't worry, we're going to be here in a flash. We're going to be here in no time. But it took like 2 to 3 weeks, and then it was a pain in the butt to get internet. It was a pain in the butt. Spectrum said, oh, we'll do it in no time. Yeah, but like I said, some people have said, oh, Spectrum is pretty good. No, because like my neighbor said no. He said it's not good. Don't believe all the hype that's around Spectrum, and don't believe all the hype that's around Cox and HughesNet, and then there's Starlink that's still supposedly is still coming out, but for $500, and you still have to pay for the equipment, and you have to pay for all kinds of services and stuff like that. So it's like not good at all. So that's what I'm saying. It's not there's in reality, like in America, the internet is not good. Doesn't matter what anyone says, the internet is not good. And then there's places where the internet is pretty good on your, like say your cell phone, but then when it comes to using the hotspot, then it's not good, because like majority of companies now give you a hotspot. They give you like maybe 300 megabits. I mean, they give you like, let's say your speed is 100 megabits per second on the hotspot. That's good, but they only give you a threshold of 100. I think at the moment they only give you 50 with my carrier at least. Um, the only reason that, okay, first of all, the reason I changed my name to Big Brother is because I felt like I was gonna make different content. I was gonna make a different content that wasn't what it was before. So I think I changed my name to Big Brother just in an attempt to better myself or something. I'm making a change. That's the real thing. So let me just explain to you really quick. In America, there's no internet that's good everywhere. No way. There's nothing like that. There's no way. There's no internet. There's not even a cell phone company that is good in your area. Don't believe all the hype that, oh, Verizon's the best. Yeah, Verizon may be the best in your area, but let's say I go up the mountain. Maybe there's no connection at the mountain. Because I recently went to Silverwood Lake, and the internet was pretty good at the campground. Everywhere I went, it was pretty good. I went up through the San Bernardino Mountains. So, for those that don't know, the San Bernardino Mountains is like you go up this one road that goes up and up and up and up the mountain, and then you have to get to the other side of the mountain and start going downhill until you get to the lake. Which you could take the 15 from where I live. You can take the 15 straight to Silverwood Lake. But the issue that I had was that it was packed on that side, so I tried to take the 210 instead, and we went up the mountain. But like I said, I went with AT&T, and in San Bernardino, AT&T was not good. But going up the mountain, the internet was good. Surprisingly, it was really good. Going up the mountain and not seeing, like looking around, I was looking around like crazy, saying, where are the antennas? If I'm able to watch YouTube, I mean, if I'm able to listen to music, and I'm able to do the basic stuff of just the basic stuff of listening to music and listening to music on YouTube and on certain apps, it's good enough. I didn't have an issue. I mean, there was times where the upload speeds would suffer, but I wasn't live streaming anything, so that was it. So on the downstream, pretty good, no issues at all. Yeah, I do have to admit that there was like maybe 2 spots or 3 spots that didn't have a internet or had sufficient internet, but it wasn't a huge deal. It was pretty good. It wasn't a huge deal where I was going to say, "Wow, AT&T's trash." No, it was pretty good. No issues at all. Zero. I mean, just the three, 4 hiccups of no internet or very slow internet but it was still usable, to be honest. Like I said, there was only one stretch because I took a different route. Because when you're going up the mountain on San Bernardino, there's the 18, and you take it up, and you could take the 138, which goes around the 18, and you get back to the 18. I don't even know why I took that route, but I just decided, let's go take that route. So I just took that route, and that's where the internet went kaplooey. So that's it. And the real topic now that I'm going to talk about is that I'm going to try to live stream like this, but in the car. But the issue that I'm facing is that when you're live streaming in the car, the only problem you have is that the internet goes bad when the upload speeds start to dip. So when the upload speeds start to dip, that's when you face an issue with the internet, and then YouTube starts to stop loading. YouTube stops to live stream. It stops. So that's about it. That's the only thing I had to say. That I'm going to try to live stream. Like I said, I'm going to go with a couple of friends probably to the beach, and I'm going to have my phone connected, and I'm going to try to go live or something there. So we'll just see how it goes, and that's about it. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to let you guys know that I have Frontier, but I still have issues with the internet. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video or something.